Oscar Goes to the Vet. This is a book I dedicated to my good friend, Dr. Casey, who lived here at my retirement home. Don and I were both on Okinawa at the same time, but in different divisions, and then we didn't meet till 60 years later and became best friends. Don was a veterinarian, and I asked him, had you ever had a mouse for a patient? And he said, yes, I did. And it was a very good experience. So I wrote the book of Oscar the Mouse Goes to the Vet. So let's get started. Kelsey comes in to Mrs. Hobbs and says, Mrs. Hobbs, Oscar is sick, real sick. And Mrs. Hobbs says, you girls get in the car. I'll call Dr. Casey's office for an appointment. And they're on the way to the doctor's office, and Oscar's saying, oh, but it hurts so bad. And they say, hold on, Oscar, we'll be at the vet's office soon. When they get to the office, there is Javier holding his cat, and he just seen Dr. Casey. And then he says, is your cat okay? Dr. Casey said he's very good from his checkup. And Mimi says, Oscar's sick. And Javier says, I'll come by and see him after this afternoon. Mrs. Hobbs comes in and she says, you girls go in and see Dr. Casey. Mrs. Lee says, Dr. Casey, we see you in room 2. You girls go in and see Dr. Casey. I'll wait out here. The Dr. Casey comes in and says, Mimi, how nice to see you. Looks like Oscar not feeling well, said Dr. Casey. Oscar is so sick. Please help him, cried Mimi. And who's your friend? Asked Dr. Casey as he turned to Keisha. This is Keisha, said Mimi. She's my best friend. Very nice to meet you, Keisha, said Dr. Casey, smiling. Now let's take a look at you, Oscar. First I'll check your heart. That sounds good. Now I'll check your lungs. Oh boy, they sound good. Now let's check your tummy. Oh, that sounds so bad. Dr. Casey, can you help Oscar feel better? Mimi cried. I will try my best to help Oscar, but he has a very, very bad case, Doctor said. What's wrong with Oscar? Cried the girls. Well, girls, doctors have a long name for it, but I call it EBT, explained Dr. Casey. I have EBT, shouted Oscar. Can you help Oscar's EBT? Mimi asked. I believe so, Dr. Casey replied. Here, Oscar, chew this up and we'll see if it helps. And Dr. Casey gave Oscar a big pill, a yum pill. I feel much better already, mumbled Oscar. Dr. Casey, what does EBT mean? Asked Kelsey. EBT means eyes are bigger than his stomach, Dr. Casey smiled. Oscar, did you eat all the cheese last night? I'm disappointed in you, said Mimi. I'm sorry, Mimi. The cheese was just so good, said Oscar. Mimi, let's not be mad at Oscar. We all mess up and learn from our mistakes too, Keisha smiled. I'll remember to put away the cheese next time. Give Oscar some fruits and nuts for his tummy too, said Mimi. That's a good idea, girls. Fruits and nuts would be good for Oscar, said Dr. Casey. Thank you so much, Dr. Casey, for helping Oscar, said the girls. Can I give you a hug too? Asked Oscar. Oscar, I love hugs. There's nothing like a good hug. All you have a wonderful day, the doctor smiled. Back home, there was a big sign that says, feel better, Oscar. Javier and Keisha and Mimi are all laughing. And Oscar is so funny. And Mother says, what are you all laughing about? Mama, you have to come quick, Mimi said with a giggle. And Oscar is sitting in front of a mirror with a new ruler. And he says, Dr. Casey is wrong. My eyes are not bigger than my tummy, cried Oscar. Oh, Oscar, you're so precious. I just love how special you are, Mama said with a smile. Mama, it feels great to be loved, and hugs are the best too, said Oscar. Hugs are better than a tummy ache, and sharing is caring. And here are all the four of them holding hands walking along. Oscar, Mimi, Keisha, and Javier. And that's the end of the story.